Okay, very good. So again, Dominic DeFilipi, Western New England University Operations Coordinator for Experiential Education in our pharmacy department. And today I'm going to be answering some frequently asked questions and telling you guys about some new features and preceptor benefits that we have in Core ELMS, our learning management system that some of you may be familiar with, and some of you might be first-time preceptors, only using it for the first time, maybe either not as a student or maybe you've never used it at all before. So it's going to be a quick rundown. Feel free to ask questions. I'll ask my experiential colleagues as well to monitor the chat if there's any questions that I don't see while I'm busy sharing my screen with you folks. But let's get started with the very basics. So one thing that I just wanted to make sure everyone knows, and as you can see my screen here, so as you become a preceptor at Western New England, I would usually be the one to send you the link to Core ELMS to register as a preceptor with Western New England. Now, this link is a one-time thing. However, inevitably, between the literally over 1,000 preceptors we have, we don't use the same folks every year after year. So then what happens? Well, you go back to the first email you got from me, and you're like, this is how I must log into my Core account. And then what happens on our end? We see, oh, we have a new preceptor, and you go through all the trouble of filling out the form, digging out your pharmacist license number and everything. And then it turns out that you already have a Core account with us. So to save you the hassle, this will be the page you use to log in. It's different from new account creation, of course. And if you can't log in, feel free to email me, and I will either have your initial password that you first registered with, or if you're like, I don't even remember what that initial password is, or for whatever reason it's not functioning, I can manually reset your password. So there's no issue. So there's that. So keep in mind that that is the login screen. The login link, of course, is just corehighered.com/login-ELMS. So let's get started with the actual sort of demo section of this. And I'll share my screen again. And as it loads, very good. And I'll zoom in a little bit so it's easy for you folks to all see. And I'm going to log in as one of our many test preceptors. So you can get a view that's not the administrative view, but which I have. But we're going to log in as this wonderful test preceptor who works at someplace fun, as you can see. So firstly, as we get into this new API year, and IPI season as well, we have our summer IPIs coming up, and we have our new API schedule, which has just been released for the 2024-2025 school year. It might be time for you to update some things about your account. And this happens quite often, right? People get married, their last name changes for whatever reason. They move to a new workplace, they move to a new area of practice, new practice site. So if you click on, as you're logged in, you click on My Account, and it'll immediately bring you to account information, where you can change your name, your last name, you get a new degree. If you get like a new board certification, for instance, you can also put that there, PharmD, BCPS, or whatever it is. Site information, if you suddenly change sites, this is a quick way to let us know, and you can edit it. It says, please contact your school admin to modify your site. So you would simply call or email me, and I can quite easily edit from my administrative perspective and get you nice and situated in your new location. If you have updates to your contact information, your phone, you name it, you can always do that. And then I'd also love you to look at custom fields as you scroll all the way down. Some folks have this entered in right when they start up the survey, but if you've been a preceptor for us for a while, or you were manually added by our team for whatever reason, you can also include custom fields, meaning, does your site have direct patient interaction? No or yes. What type of rotations do you offer? Are they IPIs, APIs, or both? If you interact with a diverse patient population, you can select uh, maybe I work with multiple disease states. Maybe I work in a racially or ethnically diverse area. However, sometimes this can be misleading as well, right? So say you're a pediatric pharmacist, maybe you only work with pediatrics. You wouldn't be clicking the age as a diverse patient population, right? Because you're only working with, although I suppose neonates to 18 years old would technically be diverse. So it all depends on your area of practice, right? And then, of course, if there's collaboration with other healthcare profession students, do you have other students working at your site, or collaboration with other healthcare professionals? I would note that even if you work at a community site, it's still worth putting that you have some sort of collaboration with healthcare professionals, because what are the students doing? They're calling doctors sometimes to verify things, or at least doctors' offices, medical assistants, you name it. There are other health professionals. So almost always we see yes on collaboration with other healthcare professionals. When you're done with that, you simply click update information. It won't update right away, but I will get a message where then I manually approve it. So don't panic and be like, oh, it didn't save. I have to do it over again. That just means, or you can contact me. That just means I haven't gotten around to approving it. Or not just me, but any one of the my lovely team members might also be able to approve it. So as we continue, oh yeah, and when in doubt, just send me any updated information. Flyers too. So if you click on your profile information, you can view your profile, and you can also view your description right here. This is great, especially for our students who are looking for updated site descriptions. So when you're in the research center, especially for APPEs, students are looking for any bits of information that might be relevant to them ranking your site for where they want to go for the upcoming year. And I would say places with a more dynamic preceptor or site description, especially those that maybe include a syllabus or those that include other documents or pictures describing the experience of students at the site, those sites are many more times likely to be picked because the students, it's not unknown to the students. The students are getting all the information that's necessary for them to make an informed decision in their rankings. Let's see. As we continue, we'll continue sort of going down this side panel in Core ELMS, and we hit scheduling. Well, the APPE rotation schedules for 2024-2025 have been released. And indeed, if you have an APPE student, you can go under the scheduling tab, click rotation schedule, or alternatively, you can click my schedule right up here. It'll bring you to the same sort of place. And you can see, based on the APPE rotations, in this case, 24 to 25, and even the day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you name it, when these students are scheduled at your site. So you can see this is a test student example. If we click on the student snapshot, you can see their contact information, where they're from, any hours, which we'll get to. And then you can also see this new feature that we have called hours tracking. So we implemented hours tracking just basically to keep a better track of our students, to make sure that they are on site during the hours they're supposed to be on site. And it's sort of accountability as well as a way for you to keep track of how many hours your students have put in. So it's an easy way to keep track of the total hours on site. And under hours tracking, you'll notice that there's this heading over here. So I have gone in as our test student at Someplace Fun and submitted my hours. So when you click on hours tracking, it brings you to this. It'll show you that the students was their time in, their time out, their hours submitted, and then you as a preceptor can either confirm or deny the hours. Say the student entered some hours in error, or they actually weren't on the site that day for whatever reason, and you can enter your comments if there is a denial, for instance, and then we'll get informed. But simple as that, you just hit confirm, confirm, update all, and then the student hours have been updated. Now, you can also check back to see confirmed hours. So these are all of the hours that you would have confirmed for the students over the course of their rotation. Pending hours, this is what, if you haven't confirmed any of the hours, all of the things submitted by the student would show up there. And your hours tracking home, automatically brings you to pending hours, so you know if there are any hours that are sort of left in limbo. Now, you don't have to confirm the hours. It's not a requirement, but it helps our end, and it's also a way of sort of maybe your institution wants you to log exactly how many hours a student was on site, or how many hours you spent precepting the student. Could be an easy way for you to keep track of exactly which dates, which times, and which hours you were actively precepting one of our Western New England students for whatever your evaluation might be or whatever your workplace may require. Now, similar to hours, what happens if a student is absent? Well, firstly, they should be contacting you, especially if it is a planned absence. And they should also be contacting us. Now, the way they contact the Office of Experiential Affairs, and you can see we have our pending absences here. I just put this one in, right? So maybe they have a doctor's appointment and they've informed you ahead of time that they have this appointment and they are hoping to get that confirmed. So they'll enter a description in, and per our rules and our handbook, the student is supposed to say why they're absent, um, and then what they're doing to make up the absence. So that should both be within the description. So when you're looking at this, let's say the students talked with you before and they say, I've got a doctor's appointment, spoke with my preceptor, and I will make up the hours with core readiness. Now, you might be wondering, what is core readiness? It's another resource that we have for you, which I'm going to describe a bit later. But for now, let's assume that they were assigned their assignments within core readiness, their little modules, and we can see pending absences, and you can choose to confirm that this absence was legitimate. For our sake, we'll also confirm these previous ones as well. You just simply click Update All down here in the corner. And then, thank you, student absences have been updated. And right now, we will probably also get emails coming through to our personal emails saying that the student was absent and this is why. But we will get an email, we will get it forwarded. And of course, if there's a problem, contact us. We can't stress that enough. Contact Melissa, Heather, Chantel, myself, whoever your point of contact may be, or whoever you think of first. If there is a problem or you're concerned with a student having a number of absences or with just chronic absenteeism in general, let us know, and we are happy to let us know sooner rather than later, so we can ameliorate that problem and get you and the student both on the same page. All right, so as I mentioned, they're making it up with readiness. Well, what is readiness? So core readiness is a very nice feature that is integrated within Core that you get to not by going through this menu right here, but rather by clicking up in this corner. So if you can see my mouse is, it highlights this place, this little link right up here that says readiness. When I click readiness, it brings you to the Core site. Oh, and I just have to log out of the test preceptor real quick because of course our test preceptor isn't linked to this feature because not a real preceptor. But if I click in my corner, readiness, of course I've got access to it. Core readiness is a great resource, complete with playlists and modules for your students if they have to make up work, or maybe you want the student to brush up on knowledge. Say, maybe you're a 340B pharmacy and you want them to understand what the 340B drug pricing discount program is through a short course. So what happens is the student will start the activity, they'll click there, and you go through learning modules, there's overview videos, there's interactive assessments, there's a quiz at the end. And this is a great resource as well, because number one, we can track if the student has done it or not. And number two, there are playlists, which if we go back here, let's say the student is on a specific type of rotations. If you scroll down, we have a bunch of recommended playlists, right? So if they're in a hospital setting, maybe you want them to get more familiar with a hospital at an IPI student level. NAPLEX prep. This is quite a popular one, especially if a student has to make up some time, maybe towards the end of their API rotations, block 7, block 8, pharmacy practice settings, hospital settings, you name it. it gets as diverse as, say, a compounding appy, a managed care pharmacy. And when you click on these playlists, you can see a whole bunch of videos that the students would have access to, modules and quizzes, study reviews. And once they have completed it, there's a nice green check mark for the student. So you know that, yes, the student has completed it. They can verify that. And we're also able to verify it on our end. So it's a really good option, especially if there's an absence. Feel free to consult us or to search simply in the search button, or even go alphabetically. If we click F here, you can see every single activity once it loads. They even have specific drug sort of monographs and reviews, famotidine, Farxiga, fentanyl patches, patient counseling, communication. So if there's something you'd really like your students to focus on, or if there's a drug that maybe is a specific fast mover, or a drug that you'd like them to do a topic review on, or an area of pharmacy or pharmacology you think that might be useful. Maybe you're a geriatric pharmacist, maybe you're a pediatric pharmacist, things like that, or you're a specialty pharmacist, you want them to review some HIV medications. It's a great resource for this.
Dom, we have a couple of questions coming in. It says,
Certainly.
do the preceptors have access to view these playlists so that we can have dialogue with the students? And
yes.
How can preceptors preview this?
So yeah, so when you log in to your core account, you simply click right up here. I hope you can see it, the readiness button right in the top right-hand corner. And if you have a core account and your core account is linked, you are able to instantly log into readiness. You scroll down and you're able to see those playlists. In addition to this, if you'd like us personally to create a playlist for you, let's say like whatever your specific area of focus might be, maybe it's hospital administration, for instance, we can go in there and search for the videos for you and curate a playlist that we can then share with the students that is most relevant to the topics that you would like covered. So again, yeah, it's all integrated through Core. If you have a Core account, you automatically have access to readiness. All right. Any other questions? Are we looking good?
That's it for right now.
All right. Let's keep going. Okay. So let's see. Next on my list, yes. Oh, another external resource, and I will have to log in as another preceptor in order to do this, is CE Impact. Now, CE Impact is part of our preceptor benefits that we are happy to offer you from Western New England. And the way you access this, and I had permission from our colleague Kim Pesatoro to log in and access her CE Impact account, because of course our test preceptor is not linked to one. But it is under external resources. So as you log in as Kim, you go all the way to the down here. You scroll to external resources. Oh wait, let's see. Oh, I have to log in as her first. Yeah, wouldn't you? Oh boy. All right. It's only Wednesday. CE Impact. You go all the way down to external resources. CE Impact. This is your access code. It was updated for this year, and it's updated yearly. So if you're just registering for CE Impact this year, you're going to use the access code 24WNE. Once you do that following the directions, and the directions for registering for CE Impact can be found under the training/benefits section right there. You simply open the file and there are directions on how to register for CE Impact. Once you go to CE Impact under external resources and you've registered, you can go to the CE Impact site. You click this green button right here. Again, it'll automatically log you in through Core. And you can search courses throughout CE Impact, which are either free or charge usually a marginal amount. And these are CEs that are personally curated to our preceptors, whether it's pharmacist basic, pharmacist premium, even technician CEs. But let's say if I click preceptor, you can find all of these CEs, many of them for no cost, whether it's benefits of semaglutide, whether it's COVID-19 vaccine efficacy in organ solid transplant recipients. You can find courses, you can find organized by course types, whether they're podcasts, written on demand, ACPE topics. In your role as a pharmacist, you can go through all of these courses that are all available to you, either at no cost or with a fee, and you're able to earn CE credit from the CE Impact site. So you have access to this. It's part of our preceptor benefits, and we hope that you certainly take advantage of it. Of course, if you maybe your license renewal is coming up, you have to meet a certain, you forget or you can't go to a conference or something. It's a really nice and convenient way to do some virtual CEs and earn some CEUs. I noticed in the chat, is there something else? Very nice. They also have.
I just, Melissa posted that in readiness, they also have interviewing tips and CV sessions.
Yes.
Students can
Yeah, they have a whole playlist on professional development as well. So yeah, it's a great resource, not just for like pharmacy topics, but even just like professional life topics, which is great. So yes, anyway, CE Impact, in addition to the CEs that we offer you as Western New England preceptors, as the Office of Experiential Affairs, rather, we are happy to offer CE Impact as well for your pharmacy education needs. Let me log out of Kim's real quick. And lastly, I just wanted to introduce, well, two more things. As I go back into the test preceptor. If you have any questions about our syllabi or educational requirements, you can always go under Document Library. In Document Library, you can see all of our API syllabi, whether or not you teach AmCare, acute care, community care, institutional, an elective, for instance, as well as IPI syllabi for communities, health system, and even the workbooks too. So you can see what our students are expected to learn and expected to take notes at while they are on site on their IPI rotations at your specific area of practice. So if you have any questions on the syllabi, or if you go through our experiential manual as well, we are happy to clarify that and give you any sort of resources you might need. I also wanted to show, and this is lastly, you don't have access to it as a preceptor, but we've implemented a new feature called the job board. And this job board is a way for the administration, us, to post certain employment opportunities for our students. So the job board is a really great way. All you would do is submit the job description and links. You could submit it straight to me or to Melissa, Chantel, or Heather. And what I will do is I will upload the job. So let's say if I add a new job, I can link it to an existing account. So maybe your specific store or your specific hospital that you work at. I get the employer, the job title. If there's a job description, I can forward that job description to students. Alternatively, we have some who are, sometimes they do it in a brochure manner, or they have like a link to post on the like internal job job postings at your specific workplace. I can add the link to that and any relevant information. Of course, city, state, whether or not it's virtual or not. I can set it to an auto expiration date, depending on how long that job is open for. And then I can specify which grad years can see it. So maybe you only want this job open to P1s and P2s, first and second years in the pharmacy program. I can send it out automatically to all of our PY1s, all of our PY2s, and they will get the automatic message from Core that a job has been posted at your practice site under employment opportunities. And this also similarly applies to application-based APIs, to networking events. We had the IHS, for instance, contacted us that they're going to have a booth at APHA coming up. So we use the job board to inform our students that, hey, the Indian Health Service is actively recruiting. If you happen to be in Orlando this next week, then feel free to stop by the booth, and this is who you would contact. So networking events, for instance, can also be posted through there. Job fairs, really anything related to student outreach in terms of employment opportunities, or even just internships, professional development, you name it. So that is our job board. And again, all of our students will have access to any sort of job that is posted within the years that are specified, that they're eligible to complete them. All right, so that's just about my time. We covered our preceptor benefits. I will mention our next Lunch and Learn is fantastic. It's also it's an hour-long Lunch and Learn as opposed to a 30-minute long Lunch and Learn, but it's going to be about artificial intelligence in learning and its role in precepting pharmacists, taught by Dr. Dane Lasky, who's a toxicologist and faculty down at the University of St. Joseph's in Hartford. So it'll be 60 minutes. It'll be on Save the Date, and we'll send this email out as well with the link. Save the date for April 17th, 2024. It'll be from 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So don't miss it. He did it for our preceptor conference, and it was a fantastic, fantastic CE. Can't say enough about it. So we hope to see you there. And any questions for me on Core, feel free to type in the chat, or for anyone in general, if you'd like.
Well, thanks, Dom. I appreciate it very much. This is John Trivetta from Poughkeepsie. Very
great to hear from you.
Really informative. I'm sure now you're going to get 8 million emails from me as I start playing with this, that I can't make this work and that work. But no, thank you.
You got it. Thanks so much, John. Thanks for coming.
Dom, I was just going to throw out there tonight, there's a CE on naloxone. The first hour is naloxone education, and the second hour is a person with lived experience. So that's a free CE for our preceptors also.
Perfect. And I can send out the link to information about that as well. Melissa,
Thanks.
great catch.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it. Well, thank you so much, everyone. And thanks again for joining, and have a wonderful rest of your day.
You too.
Thanks so
Great
much.
presentation.
Thanks,
Much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.